Good afternoon and welcome here on Varsity Field number 2. It's merely a week after the Free State Champs, which has concluded last weekend, and where the Bloem Warriors have won. And most of these guys were very active last week, and they are still carrying some fatigue from last week. But as you've tuned in, this is Toxic Bloem against Bester Masters, and yeah, we can expect an excellent game today. The weather is brilliant, a bit of a breeze coming here from the north, and with a toss in the beginning, the match toss of the captain's toss, it was Bester Masters who've won the toss, and they elected to bat first, putting up the chasing score. And it is them at the stumps now, and we see that everything was working perfectly since we um, started this transmission. And it's Marco van Jaarsveld and Wouter Bester now at the stumps. Looking at the Bester Masters team, it's Marco van Jaarsveld, Wouter Bester, Gideon van Zyl, Mola Tsumag. I'm not going to abuse that surname. Pieter ter Blanche, Arthur Creer, Rudy Fourie, and Henry Swigelaar. On the side of the Toxic, we've got Benny Libbe, Bennett Swart, Niels Pretorius, Joe Liebenberg, Donovan Snyman, Joppie du Plessis, Hercules Steyn, and Ruben Versaghi. And then we've got Ian as the umpire for this match. And we can see that Bester Masters had a brilliant start, and their projected score is 200. Let's see how close I can get to that. Also remembering that what we've noticed during the Free State Champs is that since these are all guys playing of different ages playing, and something that made a significant impact last weekend is when the majority of your team is young guys against a team of older guys. The difference comes in when you run runs between the stumps, because the younger guys, even if they don't hit boundaries, they tend to almost run full runs between the stumps very quickly, and that kind of energy is difficult to match by the older guys. So yeah, that is something that's creeping into the LMS cricket, where the more established teams, yeah, they just have to work out the strategy against that. Coming back to the sponsors for this match, we also want to thank um, Bester Butchery, who are sponsoring Bloem or Bester Masters. So it is Bester Butchery sponsoring them, and the team of Toxic is being sponsored by Capstone Credit. You also see that the sponsor logos are here at the bottom of left hand bottom of your screen, next to the scoreboard. And you also see that the media that we put on social media has a lot of the sponsors logos and the um, exposure to the public. So if you are a sponsor and you need your logo and your brand to see a lot of people, yeah, come and sponsor an LMS team, or just sponsor a live stream, and we'll get your logo out there to the people. And it's been a Swart bowling, and quickly he's being hit for a 4. And looks like two of the best batsmen now in the center of the field on the pitch is Marco van Jaarsveld and Wouter Bester. So, and we can hear there that the next person to come up on the pitch will be Mola, my fellow live streamer. He's been taking a break from live streaming for a while because he wanted to focus on his work and also wanted to play a few matches. And that ball went straight past the wicketkeeper. And it's Joppie that's coming to collect it in the midfield. It's about 40 meters from the boundary. And it's currently the bowler Bennett Swart bowling from the varsity end. And it is Marco van Jaarsveld and Wouter Bester who are very eager to hit those boundaries early on. Obviously, Wouter Bester not having succeeded yet, but I'm pretty sure he will pick it up or catch up soon. Glad to hear that the team of the Toxic are in good spirits, making some jokes, playing around on the outfield. Was last week it was pretty tight, and that is a ball that was hit towards the boundary close to us, and that will be a 4. And it's Marco van Jaarsveld who is off racking up, or the start of racking up. Sorry, nearly sneezed there. It's the start of racking up a pretty big total. He's doing some damage to the Toxic Eagles' plans of scoring or getting the best monsters out quickly with little runs. We can now see that he's got more than double the amount of balls that he faced in runs. If you can look at the bottom left of your screen, he's faced 8 balls and he scored 18 runs. It's a pretty good indication or a pretty good track of putting up a high score. You can see the projected score still hovers at the 200. It's been pretty, yeah, it's been a while since somebody has scored 200 runs in LMS cricket. It's been done before. It's Benny Leber bowling, captain of Toxic. Some music coming here from the Bester Masters camp. Bringing some motivation in the form of audio. Some music. So that's going to be a pretty good vibe here today. Looking forward to this broadcast. Now the ball is being hit straight to the boundary, but it's not going to make it. I can only suggest maybe if you are watching on YouTube, maybe switch over to the Last Man Stands app. That is lastmanstands.com, and maybe watch the live stream over there, because for one, the audio is better on the app. It's not being no, it doesn't have that much server interference, which causes some kind of a glitchy sound on YouTube. And then at the same time, YouTube also blocks out commercial music. So because the music is here playing behind us, there might be a possibility that some of the audio will be blocked completely by YouTube. So I don't think that's not going to happen on the app, the Last Man Stands app. So that might be a better option. and then the commentating will remain in English until the 10th over when they swap sides. Then we'll be going over to Afrikaans broadcasting. And we can see that that projected score has dropped down considerably. It's now only 169. So that quick start maybe got a bit of a drag behind it now. Bennett Swart bowling. Benny Lebber being a bit frustrated with himself that he didn't catch that ball. He took out a person of the and that was the CPI Masters last weekend with in the Free State Champs, and that will be a four. Marco van Jaarsveld now more than that's double the amount of balls he's faced, being consistent, scoring 2 runs per ball. Coming back to Benny Lebber, took a catch over there on where he's standing right now. That will be the person you'll see at the stumps is wicket keeper. I'm pretty sure that is Joe Liebenberg. Yes, and then Benny is just to the right of him, like you can see over there, and he took a brilliant catch during the Free State Champs in that position. Benny Swart continuing to bowl. That ball was cut to deep cover. Marco van Jaarsveld now on a brilliant streak of now scoring 29 runs from 14 balls. Let's just hope he keeps it up. During the week we saw on social media that he's involved in a lot of other cricket besides LMS cricket, and that's probably also one of the reasons why he's getting that so much exposure. And that was a 6. Marco van Jaarsveld adding another 6 to his total. Seems like he doesn't want to be out here in the wind very long. Remembering that he has to retire when he's got 50 runs. And that ball is going to be picked up on the other side of the street. And that will be the street just next, or the road next to this field, just behind the whiteboard. You will probably see every now and then some cars passing there. Of course, passing behind that barrier. I can feel now that the wind has changed direction. Oh, it's coming from the north the whole time. Now it's coming from the west. Hopefully it won't interfere too much with the footage, as the wind tends to shake the screen a little, and then the cell phone struggles to find a clear picture, or struggles to focus on the people inside the picture, because the phone obviously has an autofocus thing. We can move in a little bit closer. Hopefully we are sacrificing not too much video quality. If we does, we'll just zoom out a little again. He's racing to the boundary. Looks like he's going to be a four. A brilliant four. Who's by voted best and now opening his board boundary account. Welcome to the Boundary Club voter. Yeah, we can see that the picture quality isn't that sharp, so we're going to move out a little bit. See when you'll see it clearly as soon as the picture quality will just snap correctly. There you go. Niels Pretoria is coming in, making his mark early on with his first over, and he's taking out a stump. Another one of those brilliant heroes of the Toxic team. Definitely played his part in that team every match. And we can say that of them from the most of that team. One of the obvious ones is Benny Leber, Bennett Swart, Joe Liebenberg, Donovan Snyman, Joppie when he does play, Hercules Stein also a umpire. Those are the guys that come out and you can always expect a brilliant performance by them. We do also know that there was a few changes here this morning. So the names that we've read earlier on the list that we received, there could be some changes there. We've heard that one of the players, their wife or their kid isn't that well and they had to go to the hospital this morning. So best of luck to that person. Um, yeah, I hope nothing is it's not too serious and that everything goes well. But he also obviously had a replacement, and that was a last minute replacement. Bester Masters now standing on 47 runs for the loss of one wicket. And that projected score is creeping up back up to the 200. It was 200 in the first few overs, came down to 165, I think, and now back to 178. So the Bester Masters are batting a bit better now, accumulating more runs. Obviously, the hero over there is Marco van Jaarsveld, now standing on 38 runs from 18 balls. Problem is, he'll be approaching his. Oh, he tipped that ball, Peter ter Blanche. Wicketkeeper just couldn't get a hold of it. But as soon as Marco is going to retire, his rest of the team must come to the party and take that score up to close to 200 if they can. Well, that's a goal. Bowling now is Donovan Snyman, but he's bowling for Toxic. Exciting young man to watch playing. During the Free State Champs, he also took a brilliant catch, and we managed to turn the camera so that he's on, or his catch was captured on the footage. Normally we don't like to turn around the camera when we live stream the matches, not in cricket, because of the focus problem. We don't want to lose focus, and yeah, luckily that was we caught that pretty well. Everything came together perfectly. Niels Pretorius bowling. Oh, that ball is up in there. Is it going to be caught? Benny's on it. Just couldn't get to it. Niels Pretorius took a lot of wickets during the Free State Champs. He's a danger man when he's bowling. Is that a run out? There was an appeal. The Toxic is already celebrating. And it looks like it's Marco coming down. He was run out for 42 runs. That was an important wicket to take early on. And he's not going to make his 50 today. That's a pity. He's throwing his bat to his back. Apparently it is the second time he was run out today. Playing a match earlier this morning, and seems like that was the same thing that happened. And coming up to bat now is one that we haven't seen that so many times by us. It's Mola, one of the live streamers. We spoke about him earlier, and it's going to be nice to see him put up his talent for cricket on the pitch instead of commentating about it. He's a brilliant commentator, playing it safe. Trying to sweep the ball, just couldn't. Yeah, didn't struck it. At least he's off the mark. He's already got one run. Yes, he struck that ball pretty well. And but he's running straight to the fielder on the boundary. And the ball is returned to Niels. Can only imagine if you haven't batted for a while and you come up to Niels bowling towards you, it can be a little bit intimidating. Now it's going to be Donovan Snyman bowling. He might get a bit more speed out of the ball. And we quickly see that Mola has requested a helmet. A pretty sensible thing to do. Just played it off. Just a single run for it, and it's now on strike is Peter de Blanche. And we've now reached the 7th over, or the 8th over. And is Peter gone? Yes. Peter de Blanche is bowled out. Donovan Snyman coming in, making his mark once again. And let's see who's going to join Mola at the pitch right now. And it's ready for it. The wickets of the best masters falling quickly now. Wonder whether that's going to become a problem. Maybe it could be just a bit of instability in the team at the moment, having last minute changes, and it could also be that uh, because of the freestyle champs last weekend, they enjoyed themselves so much they lost a little bit of focus coming back to the winter league. They're continuing with it. Because remembering that the CPI Masters also took a trophy, CPI Masters, Bloem Warriors, and that was well it. And Rudy's opening his campaign with a boundary. Let's see if Rudy and Mola can create a partnership here that lasts a few overs and rack up a few runs which they desperately need. Although the projected score of 163 is pretty decent. And it's really taking the onslaught of the Toxic pretty well here. Came in fresh to the pitch and he's racking up those runs and he already has more runs than Mola, obviously because of the boundaries. Faced two balls and is standing on 5 runs, where Mola faced 5 runs and he's standing on 3 runs. Oh, yeah, Mola received 5 balls and he standing on 3 runs. Mola will pretty much catch up soon as he get his eye on the ball. Bit of a juggle on the outfield to get hold of the ball. Nevertheless, his best masters who stand with 5 wickets on hand, and their projected score doesn't look too bad. And it's Mola with a beautiful shot there towards the boundary. Is it going to make the boundary? No, it doesn't look like it. The fielder stopped it just in time. No, that seems like Ian is indicating that that was a 4. And I can guarantee you that Mola is very happy about that. I actually like the composure that he has at the stumps. Also played against towards the boundary, but that's not going to make it. A quick 2 runs brings him back to the stumps on being on strike. Another defensive shot towards the fielder. Almost, no, it's not Benny. Could be Bennett Swart over there. I can see Joppie Du Plessis, also one of the umpires that is umpiring regularly on Sundays. He's he's fielding today for Toxic on the square leg umpire position. Probably sticking to the umpiring spots. Can almost feel that some of the guys wanted to take a break after last weekend because it took out of a lot of the athletes playing Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Most of them played 2 matches on each day. And just doing it every Sunday is one thing, doing it 3 days in a row, yeah, that could be a bit challenging. But then again, Sunday was only the finals. If you want to catch up on what happened over there, you are welcome to go and look at the Free State Champs at each the plate, the um, cup, and the shield pool. Each and every final match was live streamed. So you can go and watch that together with all the highlights on the app. Coming into ball now is Alex Olivier. Also cemented his spot in this team. Oh, and that is the middle stump of Rudy gone. And now Masters is looking they're going to be in trouble. Now halfway through all the available wickets here today. Coming in now to bat is Henry Swigelaar. Also a guy notorious for racking up a lot of big points, as well as having many man of the match or player of the match awards. So we can expect him to bring some stability to the scoring over here. Well, not only so much for the scoring, but the frequency of wickets being lost by Masters. And it all comes down to it looks like Toxic might have lifted up the game a little. Maybe being a little bit more focused here today than Masters. And that can be chalked up to fatigue or any other reason, depending on what the week was. And that's the ball racing to the boundary. Is it going to be caught in just in time? Looks like it. Yes, that's not going to be a 4. We are approaching the 10th over shortly. Oh, that ball is up in the air. Is it going to be caught? No, it's falling in no man's land. It's being picked up there in the midfield. Mola on strike. He tipped that ball. Was it good? No. The wicket keeper didn't catch it, and Alex Olivier seems a little bit frustrated that the ball didn't carry all the way to the wicket keeper. Just bounced in front of him. Otherwise, he could have picked up a wicket right now, putting Bester Masters really in trouble. You can see the projected score has come down to 155, and we must remember the math to get to that total. All depends on having wickets standing, for one, and number two, that yeah, still the 20 overs are still limited to 20 overs, but yeah, you need wicket standing, and with frequency of wickets now falling, I looks like they not or might not reach 20 overs. That is simple math. When we look at we nearly at 10 overs, halfway through the innings or the first innings, and half of the wickets have fallen. So they're basically taking 4 wickets per 10 overs. Coming back to bowlers, Alex Willefeer. Although that doesn't look a lot like Alex Willefeer, that almost looks like Yopi. Yes, Yopi du Plessis. And he's spinning the ball. Nearly took out Henry over there. That ball hit straight to the fielder. Considering the wind coming now from the west, we can only think that the people like Joe Liebenberg's bowling might be spared for the when they change sides. And that's going to be a four. That's a brilliant four by Mola. Well done, Mola. When you look at this afterwards, brilliant shot, my man. And we can see that the spectators from the side, they are asking for more of that from Mola. They want more fours, more boundaries. Obviously, without losing their wickets. En hulle het kante geruil, natuurlijk ons gaan nou oor na Afrikaans, dit is Joppie wat nou gebouw het. Lyk asof hy klaar is, hulle soek na die bal het lyk my, nee, daar tel Joppie die bal op, hy het hom gekry, en die covers nou op die blad is Mola en Hanro. Ek gaan nie Mola se van probeer uitspreek nie, wil hy die man kwaad maak vir hoe ek sy naam of sy van abuse nie, of verkrag nie. Dit is 'n 4, Mola wat aangaan, as hy hoor dit wat ek nou sê en dit maak hom kwaad, is dit 'n bitter goeie ding, want hy is besig om nou grenshoue in te reig. Mola wat nou mooi ook opvang met die aantal lopies wat op aangeteken word. En daardie geskatte telling is nog steeds op 155. Het lyk asof dit Andrew is wat nog so klein bietjie sukkel om lopies aan te teken. Dit gebeur nie baie vinnig nou vir hom op die oomblik nie. Ons sien dat die kante het nie geruil nie. dit kan dalk iets te doen wees met die golfplat. Mag dalk klammerig aan die een kant wees, dat hulle gevra word om eerder net van die een kant af te bal, deeltyd van die universiteit kant af. En daarso word dan raak gebal. Alex vra om verskoning, kyk net of Andrew reg is. En ons kan tot op die kant hoor hoe Benny Libbe vir Alex sê, luister, moet bietjie rustiger bal, hy moet nie so hard bal nie. Kan dalk wees omdat as hy so hard probeer bal, dat hy dalk skeef bal. En die bal word hard geslaan na die oorkant van die veld. Gaan mooi opgetel word, seker so 30 meter van die grens af. Lyk soos Donovan Snyman wat dit opgetel het daar. Op hierdie tipe afstande is dit nou al so dat ons die spelers nou op fynere detail basis kan herken. Soos byvoorbeeld die master speler nou op die square leg umpire posisie is Arthur Creer. Hy laat jou cap dra nie, hy is nie lief vir helme dra nie. En Donovan Snyman herken ons om aan sy groot hoed. Dis die enigste een in die span wat daar die groot, so hulle noem het, ek dink 'n floppy hoed. Regtig probeer opsoek om te kyk waar het hy dit gekom dat hulle daai hoede begin dra. Want ek weet die Australiërs dra baie van dit en dan hak hulle nou kurkproppies en toppies en goeders anders vas. Daai bal is op in die lug, gaan hy gevang word. Joppie gaan hom optel en teruggooi. Ja, die Australiërs wat al hulle die goeders wat jy gewoonlik nou so as jy nou gaan kuier in kamp of saam met vriende gaan braai en jy bær jou kampstoel en jy het vir hom weke lank die gebruik en jy maak kampstoel oop en dan jy weet mos nou hier waar jy jou blikkie insit of jou glas insit. Dan hoor dit so klink en klink en klink en klink daarso. Dit is gewoonlik jou doppies. Dit sal heel waarskynlik wees dat hulle nou hulle goeders op die hoed haak, dat hulle dit kan sien, wanneer huis toe gaan. Nee wat, ons het kampstoele, by die huis kom, sal daar gaan leegmaak, as ons vergeet, alhoewel dit seker nie einde van die wêreld nie. Ten minste gooi ons dit rond op die grond nie. En ons kan sien dat daai teikenbetelling nou nog afkom, nou op 150 staan. Molla en ander wat nou die lopies aanteken, of meerendeels Molla. En dit is Joppie wat iets te sê wil hê daaroor. En dit is 'n kaphou daarso deur Molla. Gaan dit 'n 4 wees? Ja. Hy is oor die grens. Dit is 'n 4. Net gou vasstel van watter kant af is dit die wind, waar die wind nou waai. Want hy blyk rigting verander. En dit is dit wat nou op die skerm van die foon waai en dan vibreer hy so 'n bietjie. Dit probeer uitsny. En dit is Toxic wat nou baie goed doen nou. het 4 paaltjies gevat van Wester Masters en hulle hou daai lopies taamlik of redelik laag of relatief alles dieselfde ding en die bal word grondlangs gespeel en die gaan 'n 4 wees. 'n 4 wat nou by Molle se telling weer bygetel word. Nog 'n mooi skoot daar deur Molla, maar hierdie een gaan nie 'n 4 wees nie. Pragtige gooi deur kan Bennett wees, daar van die grens af. Oh, lekker musiek hier so wat van Beste Master kamp afkom hier net links van ons. Nou om in te kom om te bal is Rubenstein. Sit op ons lys wat ons gekry het, dan na Ruben Versagie. Mag dalk net 'n fout wees met die van wat ons gekry het. Nietemin Andre Soegelaar wat 'n kans kry om lopies aan te teken. Nie nou op die oomblik gebruik het nie, maar hy sal heel waarskynlik binnekort. Vat hom dalk net 'n rukkie om op te warm en sy oog op die bal te kry en sodra hy dit doen, dan is dit wanneer hy lostrek en groot houe begin kry. Ruben Andrew wat hom weer reguit na die speler toe speel, die veldwerker. Dit is so asof Beste Masters altyd die een hou. Hierdie bal word fyn gespeel hier langs die been af. Gaan nie die grens maak nie. Niels Pretorius wat hom opgetel het hier net links van ons. Die bal het reguit aan Joppie toe geslaan. Hoop hy het seer gekry daar nie. Is op die grond. Lyk as die bal hom 'n bietjie sleg gevang het op die arm dalk. Maar hy's op. Lyk mens reg. Ek dink hier is 'n vertraging in die puntebord onder, want die persoon wat nou bal is, wat ons self met ons oor sien, is Benny Libbe. Daar is hy. Nou die wind wat van die ooste kant afkom. Ja, ne? Molle wat nou op 40 staan vandag, stadig maar seker besig om sy 50 te bekruip. Seker hy gaan baie bly wees met 'n 50, aangesien hy al vir 'n lang tyd nie 'n kans gekry het om te speel nie, ander verpligtinge gehad, en met die eerste dag terug wat hy kom speel, wat hy kom die Western Masters kom uithelp, lyk dit asof hy sterk op pad is na sy 50 toe. Marco het nou nie syne gekry vanoggend nie, alhoewel hy ook sterk op pad was. Nie reg vanoggend nie, of vanmiddag, maar 'n bietjie vroeër. En dit is 'n 4, en die keer is dit na Hanro waar die 4 gaan. Natuurlik gaan hy ook moet begin sy pas moet optel, aangesien sodra Mollan moet verklaar, gaan hy beheer van die golfplat moet oorneem, met wie ook al volgende inkom, en dit sal Arthur Kreer wees. En die bal word weer eens grondlangs gespeel, in die gapings van die toksiese grenswerkers, maar nie hard genoeg om uit te hardloop, om voor hom by die grens te kom nie. Kom ons kyk wat doen Benny Libbe. Gebal, hy is in die lug op, maar hy het die keer direk na die veldwerker toe op die grens. Net 'n enkel loopie, en dit sal nou wees Molla wat nou die bal gaan ontvang. Daar word uiteindelik 'n bietjie taktiek daar bespreek. Arthur in die kant lyk nie is nie reg deel van daai taktiek nie. As ons kyk, daar staan hy. Man wat oor die 360 wedstryde al gespeel het, net vir LMS cricket. En daai is 'n bietjie wyd. Benny Libbe gaan nie bly wees vir hom nie, maar hierdie bal gaan vir 'n 4 hardloop. En wat 'n grap met die spelers daar, so die kolvers. If you want to go ball watching, go and play golf. Natuurlik is dit omdat die kolvers gedink het die bal gaan hardloop vir 'n 4, maar hy het dit gemaak nie. Dan is Diemenberg wat hom net kom optel het net voor dit, die balkie wagter. Nog 'n mooi hou deur Molla, die bal lekker getref. En is daar nou 'n Snyman wat hom optel. Seker so 20 meter voor die grens. Amper het Ruben hy ding gevang. Hy vang hy die bal van sy eie balwerk af. Dit sou nie goeie nuus vir Hanro Swigelaar gewees het nie. Nog 'n bal wat op in die lug is. Ruben wat net nie by hom kon uitkom nie, net so 'n bietjie agter hom geval. Ons is nou in die 5 of amper basies die 16de balbeurt. En die telling van 120 is nie meer te versmaai nie. Dit is hang af van die omstandighede, kan dit dalk nogal 'n moeilike teiken wees. Pragtig ingegooi daarso. Maar beste masters gaan nog hulle stemmel dik maak vir die volgende 4 balbeurte. Ek sien die teikenmerk is 153, wat ook nie te sleg gaan wees nie. Maar het wil voorkom asof Toxic bietjie meer gefokus is vandag, maar ook besig is om dit nou te verloor. Want die aantal paaltjies val nie meer soos wat hulle vroeër geval het nie. Maar 'n briljante skou deur Molla. Nou 43 loopie staan. Vliegtuig wat oor ons koppe kom. Heel waarskynlik in die agtergrond van die beeldmateriaal kan hoor. En dit is heel waarskynlik die vliegtuig wat Kaapstad toe vlieg op 'n Sondagmiddag. Maar hy het daai bal net so fyn langs die bene afgetik maar hy gaan nie die grens haal nie. Niels Pretorius het net so iets wat 30 meter voor die grens optel in die middeveld en teruggooi vir Joe. Benny Libbe wat verder bal. En Donovan Snyman wat hom optel. Te verduidelik waar die manne staan is, Donovan Snyman staan so op die point, terwyl Niels Pretorius op extra cover staan. Oor, die bal is op in die lug, gaan hy gevang word? Ja, daar is 'n man naby aan hom nie. Hy val dood binne in die gras en in die middeveld. En word teruggegooi vir Benny Libbe. Die bal word net reguit gespeel. En 'n paar voeltjies wat kom hallo sê. Hulle besluit hulle vergader nou hier net voor ons. Sodra Benny daai kan sien, hulle het kom kuier. Hulle wil ook deel wees van die spel. Paar wat die sit. Maar ons het nie kom birdwatching doen nie, ons het na cricket kom kyk. Ons soek 'n voeltjie, maar dit is nou iets wat beste masters glad nou sal wil hê nie. Balkie nou moet verloor en dan iemand met wat 'n eentjie kry. Enigste voeltjie wat jy gaan kry in cricket. So goue eentjie. Dis iets wat ek nogal nie opgesoek het nie. Waarom hulle dit 'n goue eentjie noem? Kan dit dalk net wees dat hy voeltjie 'n eiertjie lê wat 0 is. Ronde 0. Eiertjie wat uitproei, eentjie wat loop. Is daai paaltjie daar gevat? lyk soos Andries Wiegelaar wat sopas sy paaltjie verloor het, uitgebal. En nou is dit Arthur Kree wat moet inkom. Hopelik Molla kort nog net 3 lopies om hy 50 te kry om te verklaar. Wat ook al nou verder gaan gebeur in die wedstryd, ten minste hoop ek net vir Molla dat hy sy 50 haal, want dit gaan 'n welkom terugkome wees om 'n bietjie weer cricket te speel. Weet hy is bitter lief om cricket te speel en die kommentaar wat hy doen, weet hy umpire ook, skeieregter, maar sy grootste liefde bly nog steeds om die cricket te speel. Jy sal nou heel waarskynlik daai nie gehoor het nie, maar Kulver wat nou afkom, Andrew Swigelaar, hy verduidelik daai bal, hy swing nie, hy doen niks op hy mat vandag nie. Wel, dit is maar een van daai dae, klink my die selfs die COVID, maar kon daar bietjie iets anders gewees het. Maak nie saak wat nie. Ons kyk nou terug, ons gaan kyk, hopelik Molla wat sy 50 gaan haal. Benne Swart wat natuurlik iets te sê daarvan wil doen, of iets daarvan wil sê met sy balwerk. Maar nou, Arthur is van die mikkie af ten minste. Een loopie vanaf een bal. Molla op 48. Wat gaan Arthur met hierdie maak? Daar is nie veel balle in hierdie beurt oor nie. Nog iets so 10, 11 balle oor. 2 balbeurte plus nog 1 in hierdie balbeurt. En dan bal hulle hom wyd. En dit klink asof Toxic gelukkig is oor nie ekstra lopies wat aangeteken word nie. Ons sien ook daai teikenstelling van die Western Masters nou afgekom het na 146. En dit lyk asof Joe Liebenberg nou begin regmaak. Dit is Johannes Liebenberg om te gaan bal, want wat van Paaltjie wagter posisie besig is om sy beenskutte en sy handskoene uit te trek. Hy gaan heel waarskynlik nou bal. Nog net 2 balbeurte oor. Net nie lekker seker wie saam met hom gaan bal nie. Dit gaan, ek dink dit kan of Benny Lewe wees of Donovan Snyman. Hang net af hoeveel balbeurte hulle self klaar afgelewer het. Was Niels Pretorius eers? So dit antwoord ook daai vraag. Molla wat nou op 49 staan, nog net 1 loopie, dan het hy sy 50 gehaal, wat hy kan verklaar. Dan kan hy iemand niets opkom. Natuurlijk ook iets wat Toxic baie sal geniet as daar 'n nuwe man op die golfplat kom. Sy vars, sy oog is nog nie in nie, kan hulle nog 'n paaltjie vat ten minste. Of die kans is beter om 'n paaltjie te vat. En die bal word pragtig deur Joppie gekeer. Arthur wat die bal hard hier na cover area slaan, maar dit is waar Joppie nou gekeer het. Jammer, nie cover nie, square leg. Dat hom geslaan het. Joppie by die vorige bladsy, vorige wedstryd net voor hierdie een geampire het. En dit is Molla wat nou 'n kans staan, gaan hy sy 50 haal. Hy gaan natuurlik probeer gaan vir 'n 4. As hy Molla wil vir nog 'n ene gaan, Arthur betwyfel dit. Maar weet ten minste, Molla is veilig, hy het sy 50-tal gemaak. Pragtig Molla. Dit is nou die laaste balbeurt oor in die eerste beurt. Ons kan sien dat daardie teikentelling het ook verskriklik baie afgekom na 144. En die eerste paar balbeurte van hierdie beurt was het op 200 gestaan. Daai teikentelling. Dit is wat die rekenaar vir ons uitgewerk het. Natuurlik nie daarby uitgekom nie. Daar is ook nie geen kans dat dit daarby uitkom nie. Maar nietemin die telling van selfs 137 wat daar nou opgeteken is of aangeteken is. Die bal is op in die lug. Gaan Daniel Meyer gevang word. Ja nee, hy is gevang. Dink nie hierdie puntebord onder is reg nie, want Molla moes al verklaar het, maar hy is nog steeds by die palkies om te speel. Arthur Kreer het opgekom, iemand het net sy palkie verloor en uitgegaan. Mag dalk wees dat die Bester Masters nie 'n volle span het hier vandag nie, en met minder spelers speel. En wat dan maak, hoekom Molla dan nou verder kolf? Sou dit die geval wees, dan gaan dit beteken daar is een minder veldwerker vir hulle in die tweede beurt, waar dan, ja, toksiek gaan baie lopies na dit kan teken. Molla sal nog 'n bal hard, hierdie een lyk asof het 'n 4 gaan wees, hy is hard genoeg, jep, hy is al in die pad, die veldwerker is nog op pad soontoe. Dit is 'n pragtige 4 deur Molla. Net nog so 'n bietjie, skroef hier so in die kus en draai, hier so op die doodsnikke van die wedstryd, nog net 2 balle oor. Molla wat baie duidelik sy deel vir die span doen hier vandag. Enigste een so ver in die span wat 'n 50-tal aanteken, of hy ten minste die hoogste telling so ver in die wedstryd, gaan definitief die hoogste wees van sy span. Hy kry nie lekker die bal beet nie, maar dit is Donovan Snyman wat hom hier so op midwicket optel. Nog net een bal in hierdie beurt oor. Dan gaan ons 'n breek vat en dan kyk ons hoeveel die, want dit gaan natuurlik, Arthur het nou 'n kans hier so om 12 lopies aan te teken. 'n home run as hy 'n 6 slaan. Hy slaan die bal mis en dit gebeur nie vandag nie. klink asof Toxic baie bly is oor hulle optrede hierso, hulle performance in die eerste beurt van die wedstryd. En hoe gaan hulle terugkom? Hoe gaan hulle antwoord op hierdie 142 teiken wat vir hulle voorgestel is? Wat gaan daan doen? Hoe gaan hulle antwoord? Hoe gaan hulle reageer? En gaan hulle van die begin af gaan en kyk hoe vinnig hulle daardie lopies opgeteken of aangeteken kan kry en dit daai verskil uitwis. Het gou 'n breek vat, dan is ek nou terug. Okay, we are back for the second innings. And now coming to bat is Best and Masters. No, sorry. Best and Masters are fielding now with Toxic coming to bat. Looking at who's at the crease at the moment, it's definitely Joe Liebenberg. Not exactly sure who the other person is. The scoreboard will, yeah, Benny Liver on the other side. Slightly shorter than Joe. Also a tall, thin guy. And let's see what the answer for Toxic is against the 120 or 143 target which the Best Masters has racked up in the first innings. Now on strike is Benny Lever. Looks like for now the start is just a leisure start. Not a leisure start, but they're playing conservatively, trying to retain their wickets. As long as I retain the wickets, I've got enough firepower in their team to um, pick up the run pace, or yeah, run rate. And that was a full toss. Ball is going straight to the fielder, and there was a misfield on the other side of the opposite end of this pitch, and nearly was a four. Just a slight misfield which could have gone in the Toxic direction. You can see now the people on the boundary asking for wickets um, to be taken, saying wickets are coming up. And it's voted best at doing a very good job in bowling pretty quick and looks pretty accurate. Maybe putting a little bit of pressure on Benny and Joe just not to go and hit anything wildly to score some boundaries and just limit their options for now. And we can feel that I'm not exactly sure whether it's the air pressure, but it feels like everything is calming down, returning to a Sunday, which is, well, today is Sunday, but where a typical Sunday feeling is supposed to set in. Some kind of calm coming. The people next to the field, the spectators and the supporters, they aren't going on too wildly or anything. They're just standing around and looking what's happening. Arthur sending his troops around, sending them all to the boundaries. Maybe notice something. Ben just couldn't get to that one. Uncle Bolt on his shins. We had previously from the fielders that, or the batsmen that were out, that for some reason Toxic didn't bowl very fast and made it extremely difficult for them to hit the ball or play the shots that they want to play. I feel it somehow it's intentional. But Anko is a pretty fast bowler. He's not following that strategy. He's not playing for Toxic. He's playing for Best and Masters. And let's see if he can take a wicket. Toxic being pretty slow to get off the block, which is probably a good thing. Depends on the timing of the game. Call for an LBW, but no, umpire Ian isn't interested in that appeal. And we can even feel now the temperature dropping a little. Bloemfontein not very warm place in the winter, but during the day it's quite nice during the day. It's very cold in the morning, very cold at the evening, but during the day you can wear a t-shirt. Rudy just picking up the ball here behind Arthur, the wicket keeper. Well, looking at Toxic, the way they bat at the moment, we don't feel a sense of urgency. Well, there's an entire game in front of them. 136 runs they have to score from 91 balls. They know they are very capable of doing that, being one of the Free State champions. Obviously being trophies for a shield, a plate and a cup. Toxic being one of the winners. Others of no, I think they were runner-ups. Hard Shots just beaten them. Because the winners were based for the CPI Masters, the Bloem Warriors, and the CPI Hard Shots. They were the winners of the Free State, or the 2023 Free State Champions. That looks like, from our perspective, that looks like very accurate bowling by Bouter. Pretty quick and very accurate. And I'm pretty sure that you cannot ask anything more from a bowler. See, the best and master fielders are pretty tentative to the match, coming up to the pitch with every delivery. And that could probably be chalked up to not knowing that the score that they've put up in the first innings uh, isn't too challenging for the Toxic, or for Toxic. They could get it if they put their sights on it. Well, it obviously is part of the entire point for coming out to bat in the second innings, but um, they are capable of doing it. And knowing Benny Lebbert is always calm and collected, so there won't be any type of scrambling to get those runs. and it worked out well for them in the past. But also knowing that there was a misfield and a 4 is being called. It was a misfield on the outfield which caused Benny Libber to score a 4 runs. The fielder ran past the ball. I don't know exactly what happened there, but Toxic won't mind the runs. Coming back to Bester Masters fielding, knowing that the target score maybe not too challenging for Toxic. They obviously the only thing they can do now is up their fielding game. Jovenberg just knocking it to his boss's leg or his fine leg, and but that's not going to be 4 runs. Now it's Joe on strike. Shadows are starting to get long now as the day is quickly coming to an end. And it's only 4 o'clock, or nearly. And that shot is being played to Mola, and he's standing on deep cover, deep extra cover. Oh, and that bounced a little bit weird. Maybe there might be a hole just underneath the mat over there, causing the ball to act differently. It's a call for an LBW. Umpire Ian isn't interested. Now Benny Libber. And it sounds like there's some rugby maybe being played on the um, Shimlas field. You can hear music and announcements coming from there. This ball is racing to the boundary. Is it going to be stopped? Yes. We are 20 meters in front of the boundary at deep cover. That ball was stopped and returned to Andrew. Seems like maybe the rugby might also be coming to an end. If you can hear it in the back, because we heard the announcements earlier on and music, and there's some people cheering and stuff. And now we see buses pulling in, which can only mean one thing, and that area of the varsity is that they're coming to pick up people which are already there. And that's a bit of Smith logic. reading the situation, and it helped me a lot in the past. Not a talkative guy, not a person who talks a lot. Unless I had a few drinks, then yeah. And when I'm extremely tired, then I talk a lot. But otherwise, I'm the kind of person that looks at everything and read the situation. And maybe that is why what helps me as a sports writer to sum up what's happening and see where it comes from, analyzing everything. Now it's voted attacking, and that was a full toss. Joe is punishing him with a 4. That ball was hit to deep square. Hopefully it's just Toxic now warming up for boundaries, because boundaries is going to make this game a little bit more exciting than it is now. Always good to play conservative to retain your wickets as long as possible. But yeah, it's not exciting to watch, and it's exactly the opposite what LMS cricket was created for. Sure, a lot of birds coming now, flying over our heads. Oh, that ball is up in there. Is it going to caught this man under it? It was not caught. Ball was dropped. An opportunity for Bester Masters to take another wicket down the drain. Ball's up in the air again. There's a man under it again. Is it going to be caught? This time he's caught. Joe Liebenberg losing his wicket. Being caught in the outfield. It was just a matter of time. Cannot be lucky twice in a row. Maybe it was just a bit of frustration setting in for not scoring that many boundaries or trying to pick up the pace. Because now approaching the 5th over, they only got 32 runs. They've played themselves out of this situation many times before, and we can see the bus leaving, the one that I was talking about earlier on. Not exactly sure it was spectators or if it was rugby players. Either way, they should be quieting down now. Coming to the pitch with Benny Libbe is Bennett Swart. Let's see how they'll build their partnership from here on in. Bennett Swart being the vulnerable one, but he's off his mark. The ball is racing to the boundary, he's not going to make it. The ball is stopped about 30 meters in front of the boundary and returned to Arthur, the wicketkeeper. But Bennett is off the mark. He cannot find himself a golden duck anymore. Coming back to bowl is Hanko Swigelaar. We can see Mola also standing closer. The man that scored a 50 in the first innings. The only best Masters player to have scored a 50 here today. A half century. My fellow commentator. Hopefully he'll be able to return to commentating soon. Once again, depending on his situation. We also would like to recruit some more commentators for the future who can live stream these matches. Because as things stand now, next weekend they won't be live streaming. There's nobody to help out, and I will not be here, unfortunately. Was fortunate enough for people to love me and take me on vacation to Neisner, to the Oyster Festival, and we're going to stay there for the weekend and enjoy that atmosphere. Toxic needing 106 runs from 78 balls. Not even. Looks like 73 balls. It will only be a question of when will they be opening up the gates and start scoring some more boundaries. Play some exciting cricket. They already lost one wicket, but they still have a lot of firepower there in their camp to come and finish off the game. It's only a question of when will they start doing it. Also, you can most think that they can, if they aim to score 10 runs from each over, that is in their capabilities. And we see another bus coming past. So that is the opposing team. I cannot think that there were more than one team playing rugby here today, so which means both teams are gone. There won't be any more rugby on Shimla Park. Scoring 10 runs from each over shouldn't be too difficult, especially for these guys. And they did it a few times last weekend, where they had even larger requirements than 10 runs from one over. Obviously, one over being five balls, meaning that they have to score 2 runs per ball. And we saw that even the youngsters, they ran more than 2 runs per ball. But it could also be that the older guys on the boundaries were a bit slower to get to the ball, and the pressure wasn't on that much. Bowling now, it's Marco van Jaarsveld. He was well on his way to score 50 this morning. And the ball is up in the air, but it's going to fall in no man's land. I think he lost his wicket at 40 something. Was a pity, but it happens. Yeah, just a conservative play there. We don't see too many runs coming now from the toxic team. Oh, and that is a wicket gone. Bennett Swart losing his wicket, and it's once again Benny Libber remaining at the stumps or on the wicket. This time, Niels Pretorius joining him. That can be a that could be a dangerous. Sorry, that could be a dangerous partnership. Both of them very good batsmen. And Niels Pretorius tends to hit more sixes. So although he can rack up a very high score when everything is going well, the possibility of him losing his wicket is also greater because of that. And although they still have 6 wickets on hand, they already lost two, and which means they don't. Yeah, the conservative approach didn't work that well up to now. Because if you're going to play conservatively, even if you don't score many runs, at least you must retain your wickets, and they're losing their wickets anyway. Until that, Neil's coming in playing at 4. Yeah, that is exactly what we expected from Niels Pretorius. At least he's bringing some exciting cricket. It's only a matter of how long he will be able to retain his wicket. Obviously, also a dangerous man for the Masters, because knowing that the longer Niels Pretorius stands, the longer or the more runs he will be piling up from boundaries, which means putting their target score of 143 more and more in danger the longer he stands at the stumps. So getting rid of Niels will be um, a dream for them, taking his wicket early on. And that is what I like about sport. The situation changing constantly, especially when you start knowing the players, what they can do, what the possibilities are, and like every time when you see them play, you get an idea of what could happen, and it's only a matter is it happening or not, and just seeing how it pans out. And we've got a bit of wildlife here as well. Let's have a look there. Well, the ball is up in there, but it's not going to be caught. Also approaching 10 overs, which usually means they change sides. But we've seen in the first innings that they didn't change sides. They kept on bowling from the varsity end. And that could only be because of the pitch. There might be something wrong on this side of the pitch. Might be um, it was a little bit wet, so the ground is a bit soft. Bowlers can slip on their way to the stumps when they bowl, and yeah, you can get somebody hurt quickly that way. just playing it off his knees. Bringing back Niels Pretorius on strike. Let's see what he's going to do. It's the last ball of the over. Andrew. That ball is running down the ground, straight to the fielder. Just a single run for Niels. And 8 overs of this second innings is done. Let's see what's happening in the next 2 overs. Somehow that margin is closing anyway. 93 runs required from 60 balls. Especially with guys like Niels Pretorius, that can happen. But with Marco van Jaarsveld bowling, it's going to make it just a little bit more difficult for Toxic to do that. But about the commentating, in less than 2 overs from now, we'll be switching over to Afrikaans. And yeah, then I'll be announcing everything in Afrikaans. Obviously referring sometimes back to English words that I can't remember in Afrikaans right away. Maybe as a writer I usually pen down everything and then I can change the language and change even the dialect of everything. And yeah, spell checker and all those kind of things. It helps you writing. And being a live commentator, you don't have those kind of luxuries. So this is basically practice to do commentating or live commentating. Even commentating at not being live, you can always take the recording and take out the mistakes, delete those, close the gaps, retake some of the commentating that you are doing. Oh, it is Marco van Jaarsveld now putting a lot of pressure there on the Toxic, and Niels Pretorius is not able to get that ball away for those boundaries that he's looking for. Temperature dropping now quickly. Probably now in the single digits. That ball is going for a 4. It's racing to the boundary. Is it going to be stopped? It looks it wasn't stopped. Yes, it's on the other side of the boundary. That is a 4. Penny Lover being rewarded with a boundary. And we can be pretty sure that Niels Pretorius will be adding his voice to the game soon as well. And they're discussing some tactics. Wonder what that could be. Holding back maybe the boundaries for now, or the wild swing, just playing it safe. Another 2 or 3 overs, or will they start now? Coming up to bowl now is Mola. He had a brilliant innings in the first innings, scoring more than 50 runs. Let's see how he bowls. As we mentioned earlier, his fellow commentator, who hasn't commentated for a while, due to some he had some obligations, and That's a full toss. First ball from him is a full toss. But the ball is going to be picked up at the square leg umpire at his feet. Long shadows now creeping onto the field, bringing some cool air from the temperature that's dropping with a slight breeze. That should be also be a wide probably. Mola taking some time to find his aim again. Let's see how long it's going to take for him to sort himself out. That's a better delivery from Mola. Being congratulated by his teammates. And Toxic's pressure is mounting slightly. The ball is up in the air. There's a player not on it. But it is going to be stopped about 20 meters in front of the boundary and returned to the bowler. That ball is up in the air. Starlink's satellites are taking notice, but it's dropping in the midfield and no catcher. That ball was high up in the air. It's falling in no man's land where there was nobody there able to catch it. And that was the 10th over. Only 10 overs remaining in the second innings and this match, meaning that there's only 50 more balls to be bowled and Toxic has to score 81 runs. And we'll also now be switching over to the Afrikaans commentary by Jurgen Smith. Ja, almal is nog steeds lekker, selfe persoon, ander persoonlikheid, so 'n bietjie gesplete en al seker sien ons so 3 of 4 van ons wat deurkom in so 'n wedstryd. Dis Arthur Creer wat die bal teruggooi daarso na die bowler toe. Tans Marco van Jaarsveld. En dit is die manne op die grense wat baie tentatief is oor hierdie wedstryd. Bal is weer op in die lug. As 'n man is dit 'n 6. Hulle vra die man op die grens. Ons sal waarskynlik sien, lyk my dit is 'n 4. Nou groot hou gewees bo die veldwerker se kop. Hy het so lank gestaan om te verduidelik vir hulle of dit nou 'n 4 of 'n 6 is. Heel vergeet dat die bal hou aan met rol oor kan die veld. Ja, ander kan die pad. Dit moet nog steeds opgetel word natuurlik. En die druk op Toxic wat so bietjie klim. Nou op die oomblik 76 lopies wat hulle moet kry van 49 balle. Dis moontlik. Ek gaan nie sê dit is maklik nie, dit is moontlik. Vraag is net gaan hulle dit regkry vandag. Hulle het in die eerste gedeelte van die wedstryd gelyk as 'n bietjie meer gefokus was as die beste Masters. Maar nou lyk dit asof daar die storie bietjie omswaai en beste Masters wat bietjie meer hulle fokus terugkry en nou 'n bietjie meer druk op Toxic sit. Dit is nog steeds Benny Libbe wat staande is, sy pakkie wat nog staande is, en hy staan met 'n gevaarlike man, Niels Pretorius, wat lief is vir grenshoue slaan. Daai bal is tussen die spelers deur, vir die veldwerkers, maar dit gaan nie die grens haal nie. Seker so 30 meter voor die grens opgetel en teruggegooi na die bowler toe. Niels Pretorius natuurlik baie gedig met die kolf. Kan groot houe slaan. Probleem is het altyd daai risiko van sy pakkie verloor is groter as hy in daai, sal mens sê, in daai mode ingaan of in daai mindspace of daai mode ingaan om groot houe te slaan, want dan raak die kans makliker dat hy sy pakkie verloor, maar hoe langer hy hulle die beste masters gaan vat om hom uit te kry, hoe meer lopies gaan hy aanteken en dit vir Toxic terugspeel in hierdie wedstryd in. Veldwerker was 'n bietjie sy arm hier vashou. Arm bietjie seer gegooi. Nog 9 balbeurte in hierdie tweede helfte van die wedstryd oor. Druk wat so 'n bietjie klim hier vir die Toxic. Dis Molla wat bal. Hy het sy eerste balbeurt het hy begin bietjie met skewe balle. Natuurlik nog heeltemal opgewarm om weer terug te kom om cricket te speel, maar dit sal regkom soos wat hy aanhou bal. En dan gaan ons sy ware kleure begin sien. Briljant gekolf in die eerste helfte. Hy het sy 50-tal gemaak. En dit is Benny Libbe wat wild swaai na daai bal, slaan hom mis. En vir een of ander rede, daai wegstap van die pakkies wys net dat hy so klein bietjie dalk frustreerd met homself kan wees. En ons weet wat dit beteken as 'n kolwer begin frustreerd raak. Hulle gaan wil begin koop, grenshoue slaan en dan kom maar een soos dit deur, gaan nie die grens maak nie. Net ongelukkig 'n bal wat misgevang word op die buiteveld en dit is 'n 4. Presies wat Toxic nou nodig gehad het. En dat uiteraard wat beste masters nou nie wil hê moet gebeur nie. Molla na Benny toe. En Benny swaai daai bal mis. Amper 'n paltjie uitgehaal. En dit is wat gebeur as jy begin wild swaai na balle toe. Benny wat weer daai bal misslaan en 3 keer lyk dit asof dit hom op die hand getref het. Het hom 'n bietjie seer gemaak daarso. En die vraag vir paaltjies en die vraag vir lopies is besig om stadig maar seker te verander. Die goeie ding is, Toxic het dan nog paaltjies op hande, maar die vraag vir lopies raak nou meer ernstig. vinnig draailoop en ons binne terug in 'n paar sekondes. Daar sê ons is terug vir die laaste bietjie van hierdie wedstryd. 8 bilbeurte oor. Gaan toksiek die hulle lopies kan meer vermeerder teen 'n pas wat nodig is om hierdie wedstryd te wen. Kort 66 lopies van 40 balle. Hulle tyd om dit te doen is stadig besig om uit te hardloop. Daar nie maar wat 'n lekker stadige bal daar bal en dit is lyk met die een ding wat die kolwers nie wil hê nie. Stadige balle want hulle sê dit is moeilik om die bal te lees nadat hy gehop het op hierdie mat. En dit is so asof wanneer die bal meer lig kry, is die impak op dit wat hy die bal. Daai bal is op in die lug. As 'n man onder hom gaan hy gevang word. Hy is gevang, uitgevang is Niels Pretorius. Sy paadjie verloor. Pragtige vangskoot daar op die grens. Volgende om in te kom, Donovan Snyman. Ook 'n jong seun wat groot houe kan staan en baie lekker cricket speel. En dit is weer eens Benny Libbe wat nog staande is op die golfplat. Een uit die ander paadjies wat val rondom hom. Benny Libbe nou al op 34 lopies van die 30 balle wat hy ontvang het. En is Dani Meyer wat terugkom te bal en dit is heel waarskynlik die verandering in pas wat hy bal wat veroorsaak het dat daai bal so hard geslaan word en ja, uitgevang word. Niels Pretorius is 'n man wat gewoonlik 4 en 6 slaan en ons sien nog 2 busse hier intrek. Nog studente weg te ry. Baie stadige bal daar so deur Dani de Meyer. En is nog steeds Benny Libbe wat staande bly. Kan nog onthou in die Vrystaat Kampioenskap op dag 1. Hulle het gespeel teen CPI Hotshots. Hy so ongelukkig was dat hy sy paadjie verloor het op 49 lopies. Byna sy 50 gehaal. Dit is ook 'n dag waar so 'n paar van hulle in die span hulle 50's gehaal het. Baie lekker dag gehad, baie goeie dag gehad, baie mooi cricket gespeel en hy was net ongelukkig geweest om sy paadjie te verloor op 49 lopies. Hy was tot in die tweede helfte van die wedstryd was hy nog steeds vies daaroor. En ek is seker hy gaan met elke wedstryd nou nog, terwyl daai nog in sy agterkop is, gaan hy nog steeds 'n bietjie ongemaklik voel as hy hier op 9 of iets in die 40 lopies kom. Net vir die feit dat hy is so ver, maar tog so naby, of ja, so naby maar tog so ver was aan 'n 50-tal. Maar beste Master sit nou pragtig gedruk hierso op Toxic, weet presies wat om te doen. Twee gedigte spanne wat teen mekaar speel en hulle ken mekaar natuurlik so goed. Hulle weet wat presies wat mekaar se sterkpunte en swakpunte is en gaan daar probeer kapitaliseer. Gaan net kyk of ons nog so 'n bietjie kan inzoom sonder om te veel kwaliteit te verloor. Ja, dit lyk net vir my van my kant af lyk dit net 'n bietjie te dof daar by die bowler se kant. Dit's 'n bietjie van 'n skerper beeld. Persoonlik voel ek 'n skerper beeld is meer van waarde as 'n beeld waar alles 'n bietjie klein is en baie dof is. Benny Libbe wat nou al op 38 lopies staan. Hy wat natuurlik nou in sy baie naby aan sy gevaarsone kom van waar hy begin ongemaklik voel om weer 'n keer sy pakkie te verloor net voor hy sy 50 haal. Maar as spankaptein sal hy heel waarskynlik ook nie te veel daaroor gekwel wees vandag nie. Nou op die oomblik die probleem op hande is om hierdie wedstryd te wen en meer lopies aan te teken. Hulle het nog net 56 lopies wat hulle moet aanteken, maar daar is om dit te kan doen moet hulle net 32 balle om dit te kan doen. Oef, bitter naby 'n paaltjie gevat nou. Rudy Meyer se balwerk wat nou so vir Donovan Snyman se paaltjie geknipoog het. Weer eens so stilte hier so wat oor die veld kom. By Sondag rustigheid. En nie 100% seker wie nou sy paaltjie verloor nie. Dalk net 'n boodskap wat gekom het vanaf die Toxic kamp aan die oorkant van die veld. Want Benny Libbe is nog staande. Donovan Snyman ook. Tensy daar iets drasties verkeerd is met die puntebord onder. Balle is hoog in die lug op. Hy gaan nie gevang word nie. Dit gaan ook 'n 4 wees nie. Bal hou so half op met rol 40 meter voor die grens. Weer 'n keer bal wat na 'n veldwerker gesaam word, maar reguit na hom toe. En dis die man wat op lang af staan. Daai bal het weer geknipoog vir die paaltjies van Donovan. Net 3 keer was dit Benny Libbe. Maar dit was lyk my genoeg vir 2 lopies. Bal wat op die 20 gespeel word. En Donovan wat nou weer aan die slaankant kom. Heeltyd die faktore wat die wedstryd gaan verander. Daai is 'n harde bal wat geslaan word reguit na Molla toe. Jy het jou een konstante faktor wat stadig verander, soos die lopies wat uithardloop. Daar's nog net 5 balbeurte oor. En dan kry jy nou natuurlik die aantal lopies wat benodig word, wat meer en minder raak. Ek gaan nie regtig meer raak nie, maar die run rate wat nodig is om daai totaal in te haal wat heeltyd verander met grenshou wat deurkom saam met die lopies wat gehardloop word. So dit is iets wat so 'n bietjie verander en dan natuurlik nou sodra jy nou 'n pakkie verloor, dan en jy het 'n nuwe persoon op die blad. Dit verander die dinamika van jou golfpaar natuurlik ook weer so baie dat die persoon wat nou nie is by of hy vat 'n rukkie om sy oog te kry en met terwyl balle uithardloop. Maar jy kry ook manne soos Niels Pretorius wat nou ongelukkig sy pakkie al verloor het, wat nou weer groot is met grenshoue slaan. En dan 'n groot met jou lopies dan natuurlik baie gaan affekteer. En binnekort gaan dan weer so iets verander binne in die laaste 5 balbeurte. As jy nie Libbe reg kry om sy paadjie te behou, sal hy heel waarskynlik sy 50-tal maak vandag. Maar dit gaan beteken hy moet dan verklaar en dan die volgende persoon wat gaan kom, gaan dan basies die verskil maak of die wedstryd gewen gaan word of verloor word deur toksiek. Maar as Rudy Fourie wat nou oral rondgeslaan word, dit is net die bal word heeltyd reguit na die veldwerker geslaan wat op 'n grens staan. Nie lekker seker of dit is wat Arthur Creer wat so as sy veld so goed geplaas het dat hy presies weet waartoe hierdie manne gaan slaan nie. En dit lyk nie asof daar 'n tipe van 'n verandering is nie. Benny wat nou al op 47 lopies staan, hy is nog 3 kwart van sy 50. En Donovan, ja, hy het nog 'n entjie om te gaan voordat hy by sy 50k uitkom. En al bly hy alleen daar so staan, gaan hy in elk geval nie 50 lopies vandag aanteken nie. Wedstryd stop as daar 42 aangeteken word, want dit is die teiken totaal wat toksiek moet aanteken. Benny Libbe wat moet verklaar op 51. So dit was heel waarskynlik duidelik 'n 4 gewees wat hy mee sy beurt afsluit hierso vandag. Dink die kans dat ons hom weer gaan sien speel in hierdie laaste 4 balbeurte is redelik min of baie skraal. Tensy Masters nou een of ander tipe haas uit die hoed uitdruk en iets drasties aanvang. En ons sien dit is Joppie Du Plessis wat ook nader stap. Alex Olivier wat nou gaan kolf saam met Donovan. 'n Vars paar op die kolfblad. Hoe gaan Bester Masters hulle probeer uitkry? Bal is hoog in die lug op, hy is direk na Mola toe. Ja, dit gaan nie eers 'n 4 wees nie, hy keer die bal. En dit is nog 'n groot hou. Gaan weer nie 'n 4 wees nie, is weer Mola wat hom keer reguit geslaan. En dit is nou Donovan en Alex wat nou sukkel om grenshoue te slaan. Hulle kom net nie deur verby Mola nie. Veldwerk wat net te vinnig vir hulle is om dubbellopies te hardloop. Elke keer. Lyk asof 'n kolf weer stikkend is. Ons het vroeër vandag het ons 'n stikkende kolf gesien hier kant toe kom. Kolf wat stikkend geslaan was. Sal hier so by die puntebord hier onder sien hoe hy nou al skaduwees kry. En dit is die skaduwees wat nou oor die veld trek. En hulle gaan net langer en langer en langer begin raak, tot die hele veld naderhand toe is van skaduwees. En ek is baie seker ons gaan dit in die laaste 3 bilbeerte sien wat nog oorbly. Toxic wat nog 34 lopies met 15 balle moet aanteken. So 'n klein bietjie meer as 2 lopies per bal. Of wat 11, so 'n bietjie meer as 11 punt iets lopies per balbeurt. Dis Molla wat weer geroep word om kyk of hulle die Masters net kan help deur die lopies te, kom jy sê, so min as moontlik te hou. Ja, dis al wat hulle hoef te doen. As Toxic net enkel lopies maak, gaan dit genoeg wees vir Masters om te wen. Dan kan hulle die wedstryd uitspeel. Dis hy korttermyn doelwitte wat help. Toxic waag nie nog 'n tweede ene gaan vat nie. Het begin amper lyk asof die skrif nou op die muur is. Dit is natuurlik nie verseker nie. Bal wat ook weer hard na die grens toe gesaam word, maar hy gaan ook nie die grens haal nie. Vinnig keer, maar daar gaan wel 2 lopies gehardloop word. Dis Molla wat eintlik 'n baie goeie werk doen met sy aflewering hier. Met sy balwerk. En dan as ons so vinnig ons sommetjies gaan moet begin maak, daar word 29 lopies verwag van 11 balle wat toe kom. Wel, as mens klaar in berekening neem, kyk hier is hy nog nie regtig 60 geslaan vandag hier was, maar dis nou nie iets wat volop was nie. So dit is nie in die orde van die dag 6 nie. Maar as ons nou maar die fantasie paadjie loop en nie aanneem dat hulle 'n home run gaan slaan vir die laaste bal, dan beteken dit dat Toxic het 9 balle om 16 lopies aan te teken. Nee, 17 lopies aan te teken. Maar dit is net as jy verseker is op 'n home run op jou laaste bal. En ek dink enige iemand kan verseker wees nie, selfs al word 'n wide gebal of 'n no ball gebal, dit beteken maar net, ja, jou kans is daarmee heen en jy kon net mooi niks daaraan gedoen het. As hy Marco wat doen wat van hom verwag word, na 2 afleweringe is daar nog nie lopies aangeteken nie. Gaan hy 'n wide wees? Agter die Colbert se sterre verby. En ek voel Arthur Kreer kan maar so lank begin sy kop optel met trots. Gaan Toxic nog, hulle gaan vir 'n lyk vir 'n tweede een wil gaan, maar nee, hulle waag dit nie. Nog 'n spel wat 'n wen vir die Masters is. Lyk asof hierdie wedstryd nou weer in die beste Masters se guns gaan tel. Die wedstryd lyk asof hy naby genoeg gaan wees om nie enige bonusse punte toe te laat nie. Maar dit maak nie saak nie, alles is natuurlik deel van die punte wat hulle optel om hulle deur te bring na die einde van die winter. Behalwe einde van die winterliga wat hulle nou weer uitspeel gaan hê en dan tel die punte baie. Net om bietjie meer aksie in die wedstryd te gaan, as die laaste balbeurt gaan ons nou maar die bal volg en hoop vir die beste met die fokus van die foon. Laaste balbeurt, nog net 5 balle wat oor is. 20 lopies verwag van dit. 12 kan met die laaste een geslaan word, maar dan beteken 8 lopies wat met 4 balle gedoen word, wat baie moontlik is. 2/4. En daar kom niks van daai nie, so nog 'n kans daarmee heen. Nog 'n probeerslag. Toxic kan nog wen hier. Dit is nie verby nie. Die vet aan die wat lus is om te sing, sy staan al nader. Sy het al lywe geëet, sy het haar stem losgemaak. En nou is dit tip, en dit is Donovan Snyman wat sy paadjie verloor. Baie mooi gevang deur Arthur Kreer en ja, net een stappie nader in die einde van hierdie wedstryd. Lopies van 3 balle. As 'n home run klaar verseker was, dan verwag hulle 8 lopies van 2 balle, wat baie moontlik is. Of dit nou 2-4 is of 2-6 is, maak nie saakie. Die wedstryd kan nog gewen word op grenshoue. So basies waarop dit neerkom, die laaste 3 balle wat oor is in hierdie wedstryd moet met grenshoue gewen word. So dra hierdie volgende hou nie 'n grenshou is nie. En dit is op die skouers van Joppie Du Plessis. So Joppie Du Plessis, as hy nie 'n grenshou slaan nie, is die wedstryd verby vir Toxic. Daar is die wedstryd nou verby vir Toxic. Hulle kan hom nie meer wen nie. Maar hulle gaan hom klaar speel. Hulle het nog paltjies wat staande is. Hulle kon die wedstryd klaarmaak met 'n span wat nie almal hulle paltjies verloor het nie. Iets om op trots te wees. Veldwerkers wat so 'n bietjie vir Joppie Du Plessis jaap hier van die kant af. Bal is op in die lug, gaan hy gevang word. Ja, lyk asof Joppie uitgevang is op die laaste bal van die wedstryd. Joppie Du Plessis sy paadjie verloor. Daar gaan nie nog iemand inkom, die wedstryd is verby. Bester Masters het hierdie wedstryd gewen. Wel gedaan, Bester Masters. Dit was eintlik redelik nalskraap geweest. En wel gedaan, is 2 pykspanne wat teen mekaar gespeel het. En soos julle nou kan sien, die skaduwees wat nou lekker ver trek oor die veld. Die dag wat tot 'n einde gekom het, dit was die laaste wedstryd op hierdie veld geweest vandag. LMS Cricket op sy beste. Ek is Jurgen Smith en dan sê ons vir julle totsiens. As jy liewer een moet ry asseblief baie veilig. Kom veilig aan die ander kant aan. En ja, geniet die res van julle Sondag, so bietjie voordat Maandag begin. Totsiens.